Hello everybody and welcome to Game 2 of King of the Hill Week 3. We have still our reigning king right now. It is Helping Hands, playing as his best known faction, the UK forces.
That's exactly what we'd expect him to do, because he is now up against a true contender and challenger to his throne. He's up against VonIvan, his #1 rival in Company of Heroes, save for possibly Loveness. It's always a toss-up for who Helping Hands has had the best rivalry with. Then again, there's Barton. He's had a lot of rivalries, but VonIvan is certainly one of the biggest ones he's ever had. And look at this, VonIvan getting straight into that central house there, Dan, just about pipping him.
That's an important one, because Brits in the house in the early game could provoke a unit choice of getting the mortar out early, which is something that it's worth doing. We saw mortars were really effective in previous game. Who was it who kept getting wiped by the mortar? Who was it?
It was any opponent VonIvan has come up against as
no,
last
week. Who was it?
I know, I'll get that. Don't worry, I'll get it.
Who was it? I can't remember. But I mean,
VonIvan, yeah, he was up against Caesar. But no, as Wehrmacht, that was him as elite troops Ost against Paula.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the map. Yeah, that was it. Yeah. We've got it.
Because that was hilarious. So, I mean, we know it's a great unit choice against Brits, but whether he wants to bring something like that out, whether he's capping units at the start of the game, who knows? But VonIvan catches hands off right at the start of the game with a well-placed MG and Pioneer run to the left fuel. Hands as going to be forced into the right-hand side territory now.
Okay, this MG42 is being aggressive. It's doing what an MG42 needs to do in the first couple of minutes of the game, and that's assert Wehrmacht dominance. It's setting up in the centre, and it's allowing the backcapping of the Pioneers. So great play from VonIvan thus far.
That's one thing I really like, because the Brits don't have an indirect fire at the early game outside of their munitions upgraded base artillery. You know, so it's like the support weapons, Oster can get away with them so well at the start of the game. And
I'm a big believer. I'm a big believer, Dan, that Wehrmacht players aren't playing Wehrmacht to their full potential with MGs and 42s in general. And to see VonIvan playing in the KotH super aggressive kind of elite tournament player standard right now, which is pushing the MG42 in and using it as a blunt instrument of terror in that first few minutes. Although now saying that, Dan, it's about to be flanked.
I think it'll be okay. One thing if this MG does retreat, then Hans may be able to go for the strategic cut-off in the centre. And Brits getting into that green cover position can be really, really hard to negate, so he doesn't want to let that happen. He has got the mortar right now, has got the Grenadiers coming up to help defend against these Tommies. And Hans, with only had one territory for the start of this game.
He now does have the fuel linked up, and he's taken the garrison looking at it, so it's not too bad now. VonIvan does have the first of possibly many mortars. Legio IX Espana has opened up how many mortars will VonIvan build poll, so please vote on that. We'll get your opinions in the chat. But first of many mortars to come, and these are also instruments of terror, and they're going to do a great job of keeping these Tommies' limbs not connected to their bodies.
It was worth saying with the mortars that they were just doing so much health damage to the... Do you know what I mean? It's such a good unit to have to negate Brits from cover, because of course we probably have some new players in our community at the moment, and Brits in cover do get rate of fire increase.
Look at the central engagement, Dan.
Or green.
It's an incredibly important engagement in the centre right now. The Tommies are darting around each side of the building. They forced the MG to keep repacking, unpacking, and then repacking again, and they were able to get him out. That was textbook from Helping Hands. If you want a bit of boot camp, if you want to learn how to play the game, that was one of the true skills of this game.
Yeah, it was nice bouncing that around. I'm worried about his sniper choice this, like 5 minutes in. Von, okay, he hasn't actually gone to tech up at all. Because I'm kind of worried that he might get caught off by tier 2. You know, Von's had a lot more territory control.
But it is a Mortis fan-based build he's going at the moment. It's a Mortis fan-based build, Dan, so the sniper's going to be extremely good against what VonIvan's been playing as Wehrmacht recently, because Helping Hands has the micro to keep the sniper moving. Oh, God, that could have been worse, that mortar shell there.
He's just trying to stop any kind of capping of his territory right now. And you see VonIvan still actually linked to his territory through the strategic points just above the central VP, so actually didn't get affected by Hans' cutoff there. Pioneers winning the engagement against Engineers.
How much longer though? The Sniper's just taken them down to one model. You got Tommy's possibly trying to flank. However, they've come up against Grenadiers. You saw the intent though. Helping Hands might have tried to cut them off. Save it be for those Grenadiers that possibly saved the Pioneer's life there.
Yeah, I was expecting that may get picked off. Mortar there. Is that preemptively firing, I think, on the sniper location? So Von.
That's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, looking to just harass any green cover positions where that sniper may be hiding and waiting. Yeah, do you know, it's interesting. I wonder, Von, we never really see him play with a sniper, do we? So I don't know if we'll get to see that counterplay.
He can play as a sniper, but you are right. In his tool set at the highest level, he doesn't tend to utilise them as well as, you know, the Helping Hands, the Love Nests, the DevMs of the world. He's always been more of, as you say, interesting strategies utilising support weapons and then getting into that heavy vehicle play he's so known for.
Hans is now scouting the right-hand side, where he's going to send over a small army to cap, trying to get his fuel left side and stop VonIvan's fuel, well, high fuel resource. But look at this, the sniper has been flanked successfully by the Grenadiers. And,
not just Grenadiers, these LMG Grenadiers, exactly, these LMG Grenadiers have a really good weapons profile, especially against targets retreating if they're stationary. So the sniper's going to have to get out of there, and the Tommies are doing a good job for shielding for him, so well played. Mortars, though, setting up, Dan. Probably
yeah,
trying to get...
This is something I think is really important, is players that don't hit the retreat button straight away. Too many people would have just retreated that unit and do you know what I mean? Hans knows that the best way to keep the sniper alive is actually to just micro it very, very well around the opponent. Which is what he did and got the best results for it.
Definitely, soft retreating separates the men from the boys in Company of Heroes. All mediocre players can hard retreat, but it takes a true player to be able to soft retreat and keep the units on the battlefield and out of harm's way. And Helping Hands with the AEC, the preemptive AEC. I'm not too sure about that, as there are no vehicles on the field, and he knows he's up against a mortar build.
Yeah, maybe he's just trying to have something out that is able to be mobile and counter vehicles, because Von has had a lot more territory control and thus probably will have more resources in his mind right now. So I guess this is the vehicle that's going to help support very mobile pushes left and right. And then he does have to cover. He does have to cover a pincer. This is a kind of pincer strategy we see against VonIvan, so he's got a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the idea of an AEC, it's anti-tank that's mobile, but at this time of the game, I think it's a misplay to have it in your build order. To come out right now, it's not going to do anything, and it's just a waste of resources relative to the time and the situation. That's all I'm saying.
One thing it will do is provide a very good buffer for the sniper to work its way, and it is doing that right now against the MG in the center house. VonIvan is kind of spearheading this with support weapons, and has just left himself with nothing really guarding the outsides.
Good point there, Danny. As a sniper spotter, he did a really good job there. So the AEC couldn't really do anything to the MG, but he was able to spot for the sniper, so that is good synergy. So when people look at build orders, it doesn't always make sense, but then you see the synergy that it provides, and it can really work sometimes.
Yeah, we'll see. He's doing that at the moment. He's actually, I've got to say, he's paying very good attention, despite what we're maybe seeing at the very start of the game. He's paying good attention to the mortars, because they haven't really landed too many successful hits right now. He has been moving them in and out of the cover positions as he's been working up the field, but Grenadiers about to flank the AEC, may get a foul stop, but there is nothing to finish this. It would almost be a waste of munitions.
Yes, that's exactly right, and never snare vehicles if you just think they're going to get back and repair them. Only snare them when you think you can follow it up, and that's the most ideal time to do it. Here the MG, it's been a really good MG, is getting into a good position here, and it again is protecting VonIvan's territories.
We've got a nice flank from Hans here coming over the centre road. VonIvan is going to turn his MG to try and deter those units from pushing the mortar off the field, but I think, to be honest, with the green cover position, the high rate of fire, they're going to be able to deal with the mortar. VonIvan, I think, would be taking the risk not to retreat that right now.
Yeah, you're bang on. Would be taking a risk, and is he willing to just keep it there? He's going to lose that veterancy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it is a weird decision. That being said, though, Hans nearly loses the squad and retreat to the second mortar. And Hans starting to lay some defences now with mines to the approach to his base.
Always a clever thing to do. It's always one of those things that will really help you in a late game scenario, because he knows one thing that we all know about VonIvan. He is very fond of those deep vehicular onslaughts that just come in from all angles and go around your back, inroads to your base, and make real inroads into destroying your units.
What a bait there with the Grenadier. It's a shame he didn't have enough models to stay and get a Faust off, because Incendiary on the MG, trying to tear through the front armour of the AEC. That sniper's got to be careful of mortar fire from Von as well, who's been just kind of accurately ploughing away at likely positions the sniper will be. And nearly getting some results from it, actually.
I mean, only one kill now. Obviously, there's one before in the mortar. 2 kills in total on the mortars. It's more, I suppose, the idea that they've been pushing units around and not allowing them to do what they want to do. And that's always that hidden facet of indirect fire that you really can't account for very easily.
Just saw a great little dodge of the rifle nade from Hans on the left-hand side. One tried to pop one straight away. Mines go off on the right VP. Hans is, you know, I think at the start of every game today, you know, the last two, Hans has not looked particularly strong, but he does come into his own stride, I think, when he starts to really assess the other players' map strategy.
Yeah. Well, I think he's taking things a lot more seriously in this game. You can really tell that. Must be noted, by the way, that VonIvan, when he saw that mine go off, he instantly retreated that unit. And I think he probably should have just kept it there and captured the point. He only lost two squad members. So I think VonIvan is waking up. It is very early in VonIvan land. Helping Hands has a slight hangover, so it's interesting that both players have a small impediment, tiredness and hungoverness.
They're trying to take it.
Hans has just locked in a mobile assault regiment there, which is what we're kind of known for. I haven't seen it in this patch yet. And the big unit from this is, of course, the land mattress. And I reckon he'll probably be going this, not just for the commandos, but the fact that it's one of the 1v1 maps where you can... I can see them, yeah.
Get them on your screen and hover over them. Did you manage to click them?
No.
All the abilities were on cooldown, basically. So obviously they have access to that light gammon and the demo, destroying demo. And all of them are on cooldown. That's a new change to the winter balance patch or the 7 balance preview, whatever the hell this thing's called. All these infiltration units can no longer snare or throw a cheeky grenade as soon as they infiltrate. They have to wait a little bit, and that's a really cool change they've made.
Yeah, I do like that. I'm sure some other units were doing that already as well, to be honest. I'm sure they're used to kind of the cooldowns. Yeah, it's a good change and a needed change, because it was just not really right before. More mines going down on the centre road. I think Hans is expecting something to come out and push deep from VonIvan, because he has seen that elite troops is in VonIvan's loadout before the game, so maybe he's expecting that it's going to be King Tiger.
Yeah, the Tiger Race is a possibility, as is the Tiger Tank. Yeah. Tiger Tank of Lightning War, ever popular. It's a shame that we're not seeing some of the revamped commanders so far. We did see them a lot last week. It is interesting that Mr. Smith estimates that 80% of the work in this incredible amount of work that's gone into VBP has been on the commander revamp, so definitely check them out.
Yeah, just before we had the discussion about the commander, I was just going to say one of the big things about this commander pick from Hans is Faymonville is one of the 1v1 maps that is quite short in distance from base to base, and the land mattress is going to be able to effectively fire shells into the base or the entrance of the base, which is incredibly useful, and it can do it safely. It's probably why Hans has started to put the mines down so that it is completely secure. The only thing I can really think of is Von, if he can get his mortars maybe up to veterancy 3, where they pick up the range increase, then they may be able to start dealing with that effectively on counter barrage. But it's going to be tough when that land mattress does come out and starts ploughing through the center support weapons.
Here comes the Panzer IV in the build from VonIvan, and that's what Helping Hands was fearful of. That's why he's built all these mines. That's why he's got the 6-pounder out preemptively. That's why he's built the AEC. he expects VonIvan to go for a vehicle-heavy push at some point in this Titanic contest we're seeing, because this is becoming to be a little bit Titanic. We're only 15 minutes in, and the players are preparing for half an hour's time. That's the kind of game we're in for today, so grab a beer, or if you're not an alcoholic, maybe get a cup of coffee or whatever, and sit back and enjoy this one. It's going to be a hell of a ride.
Absolutely. Look at that for an entrance of the Panzer IV.
Oh, that is awful luck from Helping Hands. The first shot for the Panzer IV did nothing, but then the follow-up, Crush, and the Pintle Mount did everything to destroy that Irish Brigade of Commandos. That was horrendous.
What a bad time to vault. Our Hans is going to be gutted at that. But he does take a squad down of his own, which was the MG in the centre for Von. And if this Panzer IV does decide to chase, it may end up hitting some mines. So Von needs to use this reservedly.
That was awesome. But as you say, the MG did go down. It's in the house currently as we speak. Or just that weapon's just there to be taken, and nobody will ever use it again. So we've had a little bit of a turnabout in favour, but it must be said the Commando's 370 manpower, and an MG, of course, you know, is only 260. So it is a bit of a win there for VonIvan.
Look at how much that changed the shape of the map. We see Von is now going for... he's going to try and take both fuels. He's taking the decap from Hans, leaving Hans with only a couple of strategic points for resource income. And it is that time of the game where players are chasing their late game units. So, you know, resources being decapped and denied this way is still, you know, a huge part of the gameplay right now. And losing anything like that is brutal.
It is. We've got an interesting engagement in the northeast here. Helping Hands is trying to get back at his fuel because he doesn't want VonIvan to end up with 2 fuel points, because then you really start to get the VonIvan effect taking effect.
Yeah, Von actually replaces that MG. I think that's a good idea as well, because that was getting him a lot of value. And it's also kind of a constant target for the sniper, where the sniper isn't really taking out the Grens. The Grens are moving around the field a lot better. Hans does need to be careful if these Grenadiers, if the sniper opens up, they might be able to flank it successfully.
Yeah, it's very possible. Helping Hands, Dan, where do we see him going from here? I mean, he's gotten the company command post.
There it is, that's the sniper! Go on, Grens! Oh yes, gonna get the shot.
Nice
Finish
from the LMG
off.
Grenadiers. And they were so close to an M6 mine as well. Everything could have gone wrong there, but it went so right. Well done from VonIvan. He's finding himself firmly in a commanding position right now against Helping Hands.
Yeah, I think you can kind of see that was going to happen. The sniper probably not in the best of places. Look at this retaliation from VonIvan. After having those commandos come out, ruffle his feathers a little bit, the Panzer IV just has turned this game completely. Hans is now completely on the back foot. He has got... It's not a Comet, it's a Cromwell coming in, so...
He's going to have to go for a reaction Cromwell right now because he's feeling under the pressure. He knows he needs to make some serious plays. And if anybody can make those plays, it is Helping Hands. But on paper right now, people are calling this thing over. I mean, you and I, Dan, we know it's anything but over. And think like big turns in one player's favour can swing wildly in this game.
Yeah,
so
if you thought the entrance of the Panzer IV could have done a lot, I mean, the entrance of a Cromwell can do a lot more. I think it is still a much better tank at an even playing field than the Panzer IV. So it's there with the AEC, of course. We've still got vetted infantry. We've got the AT gun. I would say Cromwell has a good chance of restoring some map favourability for Hands.
Keep an eye on this Panzer IV. It's in the southwest, which indicates to me VonIvan might be preparing for a push. But he'll be very close to a mine if he chooses to do that.
MG's lined up from VonIvan on the retreat path, so whenever Hans overextends like that, you see he's got to go through a hail.
Oh,
bullets.
Here we go. They've got the AEC coming in. They've got the Cromwell coming in. The Panzer IV's been found out, Dan. This is a big push from Helping Hands. This is the play we were talking about. This will get him back into the game if he can get the shots off.
I love this. He's even paying attention to where telemines would normally be. Von is forced to use Blitzkrieg to get out of there. One more shot could finish it, but Cromwell misses again. Reduced accuracy on the move. But look at this, we have the counter flank. The Panzer IV trying to chase down this Cromwell. It is all going off here at the moment. Hans cannot get the retreat line, and he will take a Faust from the Grenadiers, which is a really, really bad situation for that Cromwell. AC should try and deliver the target treads, but it is going to smoke it for defense. Ground attack through the smoke. It's tense.
He has still got access to target treads. He can still utilise that. He does have the munitions. Are we going to see that? Is that going to be the equalisation? No, the 6-pounder was hiding in the midst. There we go. That was pretty decent, but he's lost the AEC.
Oh, that was unfortunate. Yeah, Hans is going to surrender. He lost so much in that engagement. Oh, and I thought it was all going to turn around.
Brutal Faust there. And I really thought Helping Hands had the tools to make that work. But he just couldn't get them off in the right order at the right time. And we have a GG because of it.
Yep, looks like we're going to see VonIvan as king again. Helping Hands, by the way, one of our first people to stay on and earn accumulation prizes in this tournament. So, serious well done to Helping Hands. And now we are going to see who can take down VonIvan. I'm actually really... I don't understand what's happened. Sorry, my my little thing didn't work then. Yeah. Sorry.
Is it just our faces? Have you broken your transitions? Do you want me to do like...
all my transitions are broken. It's kind of annoying actually. Wait, I'm going to... wait, here we go. Let's do it now. It's just I don't even know how this happened. So we had a trailer which it looks like I've deleted it by accident.
Well, we could recreate the trailer right now. You know, you could do some music like.
Oh, I can't remember what the music is. Do you want to do your GCS speech? Like,
yeah, yeah. Oh, the community will somehow make things happen. We're so cool. Rocket artillery genocide. Iran. When was the last time you saw Iran? This is the best game of years I've ever seen.
Do you know what? Like on its own, it's a very poor speech, yeah. But when I added music to it, it sounded like Führer-esque.
Thank you, Dan. As always, it is truly just 100% you. You're the best. You're the man.
No.
Who's won the raffle anyway?
Who has won the raffle? Well, I haven't opened the raffle yet because I'm still trying to get out of the game.